Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It's Monday, March the 4th. Today is National Pound Cake Day, National Hug a GI Day, National Grammar Day, and it's Marching Music Day today. All of those things happening. It's also a Movie Star Monday.
There you go.
Online, you can find that as hashtag Movie Star Monday. I'm still learning the whole hashtag thing.
Are you?
I got a couple hashtags I'm doing for us. Hashtag John and Heidi Show.
Okay.
Hashtag Movie Star Monday. Hashtag Dear John Letters. And now I started a new hashtag Comedy Call. On Friday, we had Dusty Slay. He's a very funny comedian. And then this coming Friday, we have Tone Bell. He's a very funny comedian. So we got a couple comedians that we'll be talking to. But
Is that an every week thing?
no, it's just when I can find a comedian that wants to talk to me.
Oh.
They don't all want to talk to me. I don't know why. I mean, we're so fun to talk to. But it is hashtag Movie Star Monday. Dan Fogler is our guest today. He's on the show that we really like, The Goldbergs. He's the dad's brother in The Goldbergs. So if you remember the brother from The Goldbergs, he's also on a show called The Walking Dead. Oh, yeah. He's on that. And there's a new season just starting right now. So we'll chat with Dan Fogler coming up on today's Movie Star Monday.
Do you have a pretty good sense of humor? You might like this. Early in the morning each day and every day, we share something weird to make people laugh at weirdgiftoftheday.com. You don't need to sign up for anything. You don't even need to spend a penny. Just follow the page on Facebook and get a smile to start each day when we share the weird gift of the day. Not on Facebook? That's okay. You can see the weird gifts on our website too. weirdgiftoftheday.com. That's weirdgiftoftheday.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such, brought to you by BetterCreditCards.net. A Gallup poll named the happiest state in the nation. What do you think the happiest state in the nation is?
I don't know.
Think about where you could go and just seem like you'd be happy all the time.
Hawaii.
Yes, Hawaii is the happiest state in the nation. And there's other people that are buried in snow right now going, can I please go there?
Yeah, I'm one of those.
Yeah, that's our surveys and studies and such, brought to you by BetterCreditCards.net.
Is your credit card a good fit for you? How did you even get the card you have now? Was it mailed to you? Those are usually the worst cards. They typically have higher fees and rates. Someone has to pay all that postage to mail out millions of cards every day. If you like a better credit card, check out the website bettercreditcards.net. This is a great place to find the cards that are usually a better fit for you. Bettercreditcards.net. That's bettercreditcards.net.
And this is Your Brain on Drugs, brought to you by TimeForRehab.com. This story is actually something we talked about last week during the good news. Remember the guy that bought all those Girl Scout cookies?
Yes.
South Carolina man bought 120 boxes of Girl Scout cookies. Turns out he was just recently arrested by the U.S. Drug Enforcement Agency. 46-year-old Dietrich Lee McGowan was arrested on charges including conspiracy to distribute fentanyl and cocaine. Well, that's too bad. It's the same guy that was in a photo that got thousands of views. It was shared all over the place because a young lady had taken a photo of her girls. They were selling Girl Scout cookies. He came and bought some. Then he came back, and this all happened in Greenville, South Carolina, came back with $540 in cash and bought the rest of them so they, quote, wouldn't have to be outside in the cold. Remember this?
I remember this.
So, anyway.
And I also remember saying 34 degrees isn't cold.
He was arrested. He's also known as Fat. That's his nickname, Fat, F-A-T. He wasn't a big guy, though. Anyway, he was one of the suspects in an ongoing drug investigation. He and 10 other people conspired to import drugs from Mexico in 2018, according to this report. They're looking for some of the other suspects still. So that's just sad. He was just in our good news, and now he's in here? That's too bad.
It doesn't negate his good deed,
No, he still
though.
did something good.
Yeah.
I like that. So there you go.
It's not like he stole their cookies.
No,
he bought them,
we've
and it
actually
was
heard about that.
yeah.
People have done that. This is what happens though when your brain is on drugs.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com. Kim Kardashian praised Long Island medium Teresa Caputo after getting an incredibly accurate reading from the psychic. So I wonder what the reading was that was incredibly accurate. I'm going to try. I'm going to try to be a psychic for Kim Kardashian. You are going to take a lot of selfies. You are also going to dress very lightly.
Very lightly. She's going to dress lightly.
Lightly. I don't know if that's right. She ain't going to wear many clothing. I'm going to move on. Oprah Winfrey is in the news because she lost $39.2 million. To a lot of people, that's a lot of money. To me, that's a lot of money. To Oprah, it's like, yeah, it's too bad. Oprah Winfrey lost $39.2 million of her net worth after her stocks at Weight Watchers plummeted. Analysts say she lost the money because she didn't sell her stocks on time. Now, here's the thing. If she had sold those stocks, as they put it, on time, wouldn't she be in trouble for insider trading like Martha Stewart was?
Only if you were told to sell them because you knew something behind the scenes. So no, not if you just...
$39.2 million, so it's a lot of dough. This is today's Big Screen, Little Screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com.
Here's a fun trip back to the 80s.
Surely you can't be serious.
Join us in Las Vegas for 80s in the desert May 3rd and 4th. Hang out with other 80s fans.
International language of love.
Meet several 80s icons from the movies and rock out to awesome music from the 80s. Flock of Seagulls, The Romantics, Mr. Mister, Scandal with Patti Smythe, Thomas Dolby, Pretty Poison, and more. See the full list of bands and icons at RadioTravelGroup.com. That's RadioTravelGroup.com.
Now, your scoop of the day brought to you by BetterCreditCards.net. A video has gone viral of an Amish man skiing behind a horse and buggy in Minnesota. Have you seen this video?
No.
It was last week. It was all over the internet, and I had it shared with me a couple of times, and I looked at it. I was like, yeah, that's interesting. It's not like I've seen that a lot. I don't see a lot of Amish people skiing behind a horse and buggy, but it's made a much bigger impact than I thought it was going to. The thing that I thought was interesting is the person that was filming this, I wonder if they passed them and then went back around for another look, or it was just kind of weird to me, the way that it was
I don't
filmed.
know. I didn't watch it.
It almost looked like a setup. I don't know. But again...
Well, I'm sure it was a setup. I mean, it's not like... Of course that was set up.
Not necessarily. There could be a lot of Amish people out
I
snow
don't
skiing
think so. I
behind a
mean,
horse
it was
and buggy.
clearly set up to be recorded.
I don't know if it
So
was.
silly.
Prince Harry recently made headlines in Monaco by... He was a little too loud when he said this. He was joking to Meghan Markle. That's his sister-in-law. He was joking to her, and people overheard it, and then it made it into the news, saying, so, that baby, is that my baby? I think Prince Harry seems like a really funny guy. But he also, doesn't he kind of get himself into some situation? Or is that his?
I think it's his kid.
That is his kid. So
Harry is the one that's married to Meghan, isn't it?
okay, then why is that a story? Oh, so he was joking around saying, is it my baby, or is it somebody else's baby?
Yeah.
I don't know. Now I'm very confused. I don't keep up with the royals, okay?
And who knows? Maybe he really does wonder, is it mine?
Made headlines by jokingly asking Meghan Markle if she was pregnant with his baby. So there you go. See, I understood it completely differently. I was thinking that was his sister-in-law. But that is his wife.
I think so. I don't know. I don't really pay a whole ton of attention.
Hi, my name's John. I just got here. That story's even more bizarre to me now. Moving on. Remember that song, Despacito?
Yes.
Despacito.
Yeah.
That song, the video for that song, is the first video in the history of the world to hit 6 billion views on YouTube. And I think about 2 billion of those are the same kids playing it over and over
The
and over.
only one I watch is the chicken one, the rubber chicken.
I'm so sick of that one. Heidi does play that a lot.
I love that.
It's the rubber chicken version of Despacito.
It makes me
I
laugh.
wonder if the numbers for that video count into the 6
No,
billion
because
total.
it's
Different video?
yeah, it's a whole different video.
So that I wonder how many they probably have 3 billion.
Probably.
Maybe not. So the first
And
video
most
ever
of those are me.
to hit yes. The first video ever to hit 6 billion views on YouTube. Despacito. Michael Jackson's Neverland Ranch has been put on the market. How much do you suppose they're asking for that these days?
Oh, I couldn't even begin to get millions and millions and
$31 million.
Yeah.
By the way, that is 70% less than it sold for last time. 70% less? So it sold for 70%
And it sold
more.
for last time. Who owned it before?
$2.1 billion, apparently. If it's 70% less, if my math is correct. And
I'm sure it's probably not
my math
correct.
is usually not correct. We've done that before, where John does quick math on the radio.
Yeah, we try not to rely on
I didn't
John's
even know
math.
Prince Harry was married to Meghan Markle. Don't take my word for it. And one last story here. An Ohio man allegedly punched his lawyer in the face in court. What? He found out he was sentenced to almost 5 decades in prison. The altercation was caught on video.
Well, if you're going down anyway, you might as well take it out on the guy that put you there.
Well, it's not his fault. 42-year-old David Chilston was assaulting his defense attorney after finding out he was sentenced to 47 years in prison. He pled guilty to domestic abuse, aggravated arson, felonious assault, and cruelty against a companion animal. I don't know what he did. Apparently,
I don't know what he did either.
Don't want to know, really. So anyway,
sounds like he's got some anger issues.
He was standing next to his handcuffed client, the attorney was. Upon hearing the news, even though he was handcuffed, he punched him, and the attorney went black. He said he just blacked out. Everything went black. He, passed out. So that's not good. Hey, you're probably not going to get that attorney in the future. He's not going to help you no more. It's a bad idea. This is today's Scoop of the Day. Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show.
Do you have IRS tax problems? Are they keeping you up at night? Afraid to open your own mail or even answer your telephone? If your tax problems are affecting your family life, you need to know you have options. You have rights, and we'll make sure you get them. Call and speak with Mike Habib, the tax expert who will handle your case at 877-78-TAXES or online at myirs.taxrelief.com. That's 877-78-TAXES or myirs.taxrelief.com.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Movie Star Monday. Our guest today is Dan Fogler. He's been in a ton of movies, and he's also in a program called The Walking Dead. Yeah, you've heard of that. It's back for a new season Sundays at 9 Eastern on AMC. Dan, how you doing, sir?
I'm good. How you doing?
Very, very good. Now, I got to admit, I'm a big fan of the Goldbergs, so I know you as Adam's uncle from the Goldbergs, which is, his favorite uncle, and that's a very completely different role than you play on The Walking Dead, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. He's on the other side of the spectrum of crazy there. He's very, that's the louder, faster, funnier. There's a lot of yelling and pratfalls on the Goldberg, which I love, man. I love that kind of comedy. It's like theater and it feels like sitcom humor that I grew up on. And then The Walking Dead is, it's definitely subtler, a much more subtler show, and it's something I've always wanted to do, which is like a combo of like a Western and a zombie movie. So I always try to pick stuff that are different from each other, especially if I have a lot of projects out there. You want to show a range.
Absolutely. And now the Walking Dead has been extremely successful pretty much from the get-go. Did that surprise you guys when it got on AMC and people just went nuts for that?
I'm coming in season 9, so I'm just in awe of how the longevity of the show. It doesn't seem to want to quit, and it seems like at this point it can probably go another 9 seasons. Who knows? Like, people are obsessed with this concept, and I think that Andrew Lincoln, they cycled him out of the show, but they have plans for movies and a continuation of The Walking Dead in the film world, and so I'm excited for the future. I think it's just going to keep expanding.
I think so as well.
Yeah.
It just keeps growing and growing. Now, in addition to The Walking Dead, you've been in many movies that people have probably had a chance to see. Balls of Fury, Good Luck Chuck, Fantastic Beasts, a bunch of really great things. But here's something I didn't know, that you also had a hit musical that you were a part of. So is there is your true love music or acting or kind of a combination of the both?
When I was in high school, I did musicals and plays, and so I went to, I studied, musicals and plays in college, and so it's something that I definitely grew up on and I gravitate toward, but it was what was presented to me as someone who just loved the idea of acting. I just love all aspects of it. Like, I've had the amazing opportunity. I'm very blessed in that I've been able to be part of a gigantic franchise, like Fantastic Beasts, a global franchise, in the film world, and then in the television world, The Walking Dead, which is global. So, and then to be able to say, yeah, but I also love Black Box Theater and doing improv and stuff like that with my friends and creating and and everything in between. So, yeah, and that's where I come from. Creating work for myself with my friends. Like, that's what the Spelling Bee show came out of. And I feel like I just bring those skills to everything else I do.
Our guest right now, Dan Fogler, he is on season 9 of The Walking Dead, which is right now Sundays, 9 Eastern on AMC. Now, how different is it when you film The Walking Dead? Because, when you're this is not a movie, this is a series, but it's put together almost like a movie every week, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it feels like it's the 9-season zombie movie, essentially. Each one of those episodes, could hold up as a film, definitely, and the special effects, they just keep on getting better and better. So, yeah, I'm not surprised that they're making the transition to film.
Well, again, our guest, Dan Fogler. Dan, thank you so much for taking the time to visit.
Thank you for having me, man.
Absolutely. This has been another Movie Star Monday with Dan Fogler. Again, he's on the new season of The Walking Dead, Sundays at 9 Eastern on AMC. All of the details in the show notes at johnandheidishow.com.
Is your credit card a good fit for you? How did you even get the card you have now? Was it mailed to you? Those are usually the worst cards. They typically have higher fees and rates. Someone has to pay all that postage to mail out millions of cards every day. If you like a better credit card, check out the website bettercreditcards.net. This is a great place to find the cards that are usually a better fit for you. Bettercreditcards.net. That's bettercreditcards.net.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The Exorcist film set was haunted. Says, based on the book by William Peter Blately, The Exorcist, released in 1973, stirred up a lot of controversy surrounding its release, but things that started out right there at the home of the person, that says here, the home of Regan McNeil burned to the ground when a bird flew into a circuit box. Next thing was, there was only one room left standing. That was the one that was used for the exorcism. And then the actors, all of them, not all of them, but most of them, suffered multiple injuries during the filming. 2 of them died shortly after the filming. Actors playing characters who died in the film were the ones that died in real life, by the way. And then to make matters worse, when the film premiered in Rome, lightning struck a 400-year-old cross atop a nearby church. So a lot of weird stuff that happened there.
I've heard similar things about the movie Poltergeist.
Yeah,
there were
bizarre.
lots of bizarre issues that
Weird
happened
stuff.
there.
That's our fun fact. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Here's a fun trip back to the 80s.
Surely you can't be serious.
Join us in Las Vegas for 80s in the Desert May 3rd and 4th. Hang out with other 80s fans.
International language of love.
Meet several 80s icons from the movies and rock out to awesome music from the 80s. Flock of Seagulls, The Romantics, Mr. Scandal with Patti Smythe, Thomas Dolby, Pretty Poison, and more. See the full list of bands and icons at radiotravelgroup.com. That's radiotravelgroup.com.
Now, fear this. Heidi, tell me, this is fun with phobias. Tell me what you think this one is.
All right.
Ombrophobia. Ombophobia.
I think didn't we say this
did we?
one yesterday?
I don't know if it was yesterday. I think we did, now that you say that. O-M-B-R-O.
I don't remember what it was.
Fear of rain or being rained on.
Yeah.
Ombrophobia. I think we did. Why am I
Yeah,
doing
you
this one
did.
again?
I don't know.
I must not have deleted this, because I have a list of them, and I delete them as I take
Yeah.
them.
But I do remember we did this one.
Ombrophobia. It's, again, your more than once in a week. Fun with phobias.
Do you have a pretty good sense of humor? You might like this. Early in the morning each day and every day, we share something weird to make people laugh at weirdgiftoftheday.com. You don't need to sign up for anything. You don't even need to spend a penny. Just follow the page on Facebook and get a smile to start each day when we share the weird gift of the day. Not on Facebook? That's okay. You can see the weird gifts on our website too. weirdgiftoftheday.com. That's weirdgiftoftheday.com.
Now, some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. The vice mayor of Fort Meade was arrested on Tuesday of last week on a charge of aggravated stalking after she was accused of making harassing calls to a friend whom she suspected of having an affair with her husband. So there's a lot going on here. 59-year-old Maurice Nelson Campbell was arrested following an investigation into a harassing phone call or 2 or more. Doesn't say how many, it says phone calls. She had the victim had previously made complaints to authorities about this harassment, but declined to pursue charges because she would stop harassing her. But then she started again. So there's a series of phone calls in early February The woman had more than 6 times from various numbers between the afternoon of February 8th and the early morning hours of February 9th. She turned her phone off but woke up to multiple missed calls
Well,
and
here's the thing. If
profanity-laden
you
text
suspect
messages.
somebody of doing something like that, first of all, follow them around and see if they are actually doing anything wrong before you start calling them names. I mean, it would be easy to hire a private detective or whatever to find out if your suspicions are true before you start harassing somebody.
So it doesn't say
and
whether...
if it is true, boo-hoo, you got some nasty phone calls from a lady that you made mad.
Yeah, it doesn't say whether or not if any of this was founded, but it just turns out that she was arrested for threatening her. She had turned over all the voicemails to the police, and there were credible threats, so she was arrested. Bizarre story. It's definitely some weird news. Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Now, your moment of duh. 42-year-old Brett Hansen has received 34 months in prison and 3 years supervised release in U.S. District Court. He's a resident of California. He pled guilty to a charge of illegal possession of a firearm as a convicted felon.
Oh.
Assistant U.S. Attorney Jack Schmidt said Hansen tried to clear airport security in Juneau with a backpack containing a Glock 19
Yeah, that's a bad idea.
9mm pistol. A Glock 19 9mm pistol. TSA agents recognized the object as it was going through. He told the law enforcement, "Hey, I forgot I had that. Sorry." Turned out that it wasn't legal to even have it. He has several prior convictions in California for burglary, drug charges, attempted grand theft, and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. So, yeah, that's not good. Don't do that. I don't know what in the world he was thinking. I'm going to sneak right through the airport.
Yeah,
security.
they won't
They'll never
notice.
catch that. So, that is our moment of duh. Brought to you by FunkyMonkeyShirts.com.
Is your credit card a good fit for you? How did you even get the card you have now? Was it mailed to you? Those are usually the worst cards. They typically have higher fees and rates. Someone has to pay all that postage to mail out millions of cards every day. If you like a better credit card, check out the website bettercreditcards.net. This is a great place to find the cards that are usually a better fit for you. bettercreditcards.net. That's bettercreditcards.net.
Now, these 3 things. Heidi, tell me, what do these 3 things have in common? A melancholy person. You know what that is, right?
Yes.
Okay. A dented car. And the 1930s. What do they all have in common?
Depression.
Depressions. Yes, they all have depressions. Good job, Heidi. You're getting pretty good at this game. As
long as you don't have to add a word to make them make sense.
Well, either way, you're doing really well. That is these 3 things.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. It comes away courtesy of 80sinthedesert.rocks. I always say that slowly because it's not a normal domain name, and I don't mean anything disparaging about that, but usually you think .com, .net,
Here's the thing. It is going to be an amazingly fun time.
Yeah, we've had fun. We've never been to this event, but the same people who put on this event are the ones who put on 80s in the Sand.
Right. And this is just a much more affordable
lot more
way
affordable, yeah.
to do that cool trip.
I think it'll be really neat. I do have a link to it in the show notes. If you could use the promo code radio, you'll save some dough as well. All of those details in the show notes at johnandheidishow.com. Here's our good news. For anybody out there that's ever had a kid playing in sports, you're going to really appreciate this. Here's a headline. Dad mics up his 4-year-old son playing hockey, and I think this is kind of funny because this is
I watched this. This is adorable.
It's like a dad joke. It says the results are comedy gold instead of gold. So, did you see the video?
I did watch the video. It's adorable.
And we're not going to play the video here, but Jeremy Rupke loves watching his 4-year-old son during hockey practice, but he couldn't help wonder, what is he thinking about when he's on the ice?
Kid's so cute.
So
my legs are tired.
I'm going to put a little microphone inside of his jersey, just to see what he's saying. The pint size in question can be heard encouraging his friends to take naps, blaming an old fat paint can for his falls, whatever that means, longing for a McDonald's Happy Meal. He can be heard offering the kind of quality hockey commentary that only a 4-year-old could present.
It's adorable.
Later, he posted the montage of his son's quips to Twitter, where millions of viewers saw that, and he said, "I mic'd up my 4-year-old at hockey so I could find out and finally understand what the heck he was doing out there." And it was interesting. So there's a ton of funny comments on there. And it says here, I'm a 57-year-old beer leaguer, and I probably have said most of those things out there, too. So it's one of my favorites. There's a lot of fun comments. So if you've got a moment and you've got time and if you have any interest, I have a link to this video and the whole story in the show notes at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Monday.